calling stay kill. X2L calling stay kill. X2L calling stay kill New York. Anyone on the air? Is there anyone?
I set down these notes on paper. I'm obsessed by the thought that I may be the last living man on Earth. What day is it? 2 days exist with our calendars. Does time pass when there are no human hands left to wind the clock? Writing down my daily life, I tell myself I shall preserve human history between the dark covers of this little book.
The difference, humans get tired and want to go home. People smell carbon, I've been ripping cables out of me. ¿Qué tienes? ¿Qué tenemos? ¿Qué nos pasa? Ay, nuestro amor. I used to run in wet boots all afternoon. I've been ripping cables out of me, making room for dead leaves. Welcome home, son. Both my dogs died this year. I'm older. People have left my house. People have come in. I've been disconnecting cords, making up guest bedrooms. Space is expanding. I can't prove it, but it is. Truth is deeper than provability. My science was a lost boy screaming joy. I throw pennies at the TV, it eats them. TV, it eats them. TV, it eats them. I never see them pennies again. On September 11th, each of my nightmares and much of my demons entered with Lucifer and sat down on the couch. The great circuit that connected me to the center of the earth was cut, leaving only my roots. I hurt you didn't hurt me. I've been ripping cables out of me, making room for soft spots. Look it, I'm dying too. I die more and smile greener every time I rip a cable out of me. Chaos is ours to fashion. Dark clouds is at war in the Middle East. Impossibilities opening like wormholes, swallowing futures. I can smell lightning gather on the back of her neck. Gypsy spirits and medicine men are coming to watch this. It doesn't matter. Beetles shift the weight and detonate solar hurricanes. Needles slide up in racket. She blinks, shatters the shards of metal that clatter silently to my feet. The universe is at war in your streets. I will part the sidewalks like ripping jawbones or skulls and drop through time to reach you. Somewhere I am bleeding right now. Life is long, not forever. I wait for my daughter. The universe is at war and your daughters they're losing. Somewhere they are bleeding right now. They're there now. There isn't time. Where was I before I loved you? I wasn't here. I must have been somewhere, documenting the phantoms, paying taxes to nothing kings, missing the point. I am ripping cables out of me and finding I'm still electric.
Hey, watch this. Nothing to be done. Nothing to be done.
I'm beginning to come around to that opinion myself. All my life I've tried to put it from me, saying, "Man, be reasonable, you haven't tried everything yet," and then I would resume the struggle. So, here you are again.
Am I? No?
I'm glad to see you back. I thought you were gone forever. What are you doing?
Looking for my CDs. My CDs.
No one ever suffers but you anymore. You're selfish. What
selfish.
CDs are you looking for?
I'm looking for my poetry.
Oh, I hate poetry. Let's do something else. Do you know any jokes?
Knock knock.
Who is there?
Armageddon.
Armageddon who?
Armageddon tired of knocking.
That was in poor
Oh,
taste.
Find my CDs. Yeah, well, here it is. You want to hear some more poetry?
Fine.
God created all men, and baseball bats and Winchester made them all equal, and that's just the way it was.
Well, but you really can't believe what you're saying, that if somebody were to write something about them, you have the right to go after them with a baseball bat?
I think I did him a favor by going after him with a baseball bat.
Leave saliva on the mic and keep the disease moving. Hip-hop is not revolution. Paraplegic b-boy, you breathe noise, never give screams voice, but keep boys with hard looks. You learned in a comic book, hip-hop is violent fantasy. Any man could be a master among slaves, collect a wage war. When the spark gets took, that's what the fuck you are paid for, pimp. You beat the language, you do the same shit. Revolution, you a liar every time you say bitch. You let the leaf slip in secret, cold lips call you coward. Forever, ever, stay sleep, rot together on top of each other or in separate beds. I bury heads up to the necks, take their eyes open, let them watch the bombs drop into the ocean till they bare like deserts. The so-called world with rockets, peasants call them sandiners and cave dwellers, but now the richest among us. We can't sell our skin to bring crops up from the toxic dust. We live in shelters if we live at all. Bleach skulls mock us. I man the radio dials, scan the air for dead men. It's quiet like New York hip-hop after 9/11. It's quiet like Eminem after Bush won re-election. Quiet like empty venues. You wanna battle me for this water? My mind's blank like the scorched earth. Play for the scorpion to come and off first. When nothing's left with the trace of waving images of nuclear physicists. We're shaking fingertips in this dimness. In this winter, the space between letters open, I drop into oblivion. Writing, I'm trapped in between the lines. I escape. Subtle misdirection. Your eyes on the safety. Lesser than, greater than, sleight of hand, heart failure. Heart failure. Heart failure. Heart failure. Heart. It's all subtle misdirection. You rise on the stage. Lesser than, greater than, sleight of hand. Heart failure. Heart failure. Heart failure. Heart failure. Send for the medics. I bet it's a battle for health. The pellets of medicine never spin messages right. Turn that message back on yourself. Stacking your shelf with rappers that are selfless, shackled and helpless. Settle the alchemist. Snack the fabric out his felt tip. My pen flips. It bursts like an infected appendix to evidence of that I just said at the stun. Rough edits on the death sentence that I sent to the sun. Kicking a menace while he's down now. This is how the West was won. Celebrating all the raping and the pillaging of the villages. They're still in military occupancy prison, listening to the Minutemen of hip-hop. They don't want to acknowledge the follies of following cowardly policies. American dreams turn lucid, remembering the scenes of a shooting on a peace movement. Synesthesia, I can see through your music, and I'll never accept it except the records are clever. Who could be that stupid? Take a pop song over underground artists who start strong. They fizzle out because their heart's gone. Y'all talk wrong. Your language is a string of hateful, lazy, cliche-ridden gateways to racism. Resist arrest, then you embrace the system. Tell me with a straight face a bitch's place is in the kitchen. Call me a faggot, slap 5 with the grand wizard. Then act surprised cause I can't get with it. I see your power in words, can't be all about flow. If it is, I hope it's something your listeners outgrow. Like that, can't be all about flow. If it is, I hope it's something your listeners outgrow. It's like that, can't be all about flow. If it is, I hope it's something your listeners outgrow. It's like that, can't be all about flow. If it is, I hope it's something your listeners outgrow.
You are fraud. You are fraud. You are fraud. You are fraud. And don't let us be somewhere. You are fraud. You are fraud to our culture. You are FBI agent in disguise. What I want to do is jump across the table and beat your fucking ass.
Somewhere between heaven and the landing ramp is a sacred mathematics of chance, the calculated risk, and the wind whipping you in the fucking eyes, and the sharp metallic taste of life and death. And there is a moment of utter calm there in midair, a moment of sheer silence and peace, before you hear, as if in a dream, the sound of your own voice going, "Oh shit!" Evel Knievel at the top of his takeoff ramp in 1967 with a fucking earthquake in his chest and all 30 feet of intestine clenched against the concrete's puckered lips. Evel saying goodbye to the mother of his kids. Daddy's job is dangerous. Daddy's job is to swim out further and further into the ocean. He comes back to them broken and never for very long. At a press conference, he tells the reporter, "This is what you call a one-shot deal and I don't come back for any late show, honey. No, I have not practiced the jump because there is no use practicing something you cannot miss. And if I miss the jump in a test run, that means I'm dead and I will not ever get to do it for real. So this is what you call a fucking one-shot deal. This helmet is to protect me from my own momentum. This costume is to protect you from the realness of what is happening here. I'm calling on death, and she comes growling and snapping into the arena, opens her jaws up wide on both sides of my landing ramp. Gasoline, throttle, thumbs up, open her up, let the arrow fly and tear into the fabric of an instant, where you can live an entire lifetime in the star-dusted flashbulb infinity of a launch into impossible space that climbs to the top of its arc and beats the sky back another inch, only to crumble and collapse, only to fall and return to the earth with no illusions of immortality and pay the cost of dreaming, like your skin stretched out in ribbons along 100 yards of tar, like those ghostly ruined bones on the x-ray screen, like the steel plates and the metal pins and the screws that they put in you, till you got more in common with your bike than you do with any human being. By 1976, Evel Knievel's body is a monument in ruins, the scorched remains of a war waged against his own flesh, born to chase after death. And kids coming home crippled from Vietnam write evil letters that say, "Thank you, sir. I figure if you can get up and keep going, then so can I." Evel Knievel shoots holes in the sky to keep people's hopes alive, even as he's flying across the gaps between public appearances, burning cocaine like money and women with their faces made up to look like neon motel signs. The vacancy of a million TVs shining on your skin. You're the twinkle in America's eye, and the women come looking to lay down with death, and you got enough money to buy into your own hype. You got enough fuel to push you past the speed of light, where every day you age a year, and you watch as if in a dream, as you fail every single person in your life to pay the cost of dreaming. The botched canyon shot, crash and burn, the rehab, the bankruptcy, the divorce, the loss of his family. All the bad blood in his veins is hepatitis, bad transfusions, kidney failure, oxygen mask, wheelchair, old age. Living to feel yourself shrink to the size of a footnote, a novelty, a gag, an oddity. All of it part of the long, drawn-out revenge of a cowardly enemy. Robert Craig Knievel in 2007, telling the Hour of Power Christian telecast about how he woke up and saw the devil in his bedroom. Gasping like a fish out of water, missing his oxygen mask, the broken man told the congregation of how he rose up in his bed and said, "Devil, devil, you bastard, you. Get away from me. I cast you out of my life. I just got down on my knees and prayed then," said Evel. "I prayed that God would put his arms around me and never, ever let me go." He was not a good man, but he was a great man. And for that he deserves mercy, death. Mercy.
I remember the maps of the Holy Land. Color they were, very pretty. The Dead Sea was pale blue. The very look of it made me thirsty. "That's where we'll go," I used to say. "That's where we'll go for our honeymoon. We'll be happy." You should have been a poet. I was. Is that obvious? Where was I? Where was I? Where was I?
When did you finally give up?
A little while after that recording there, I was stingy with my the scene, and I moved out here. I started building this place.
And not a moment too soon. You had barely completed the shelter when it happened.
Yeah, that's right.
You were wise. Your cause was just. You were right about everything. You must feel wonderful and satisfied. You survived. You won the game. You're the last man standing. Beyond time. Beyond all others. The judge and the jury. Alone in the silence.
After the explosion. No. I'm the devil. Telling myself the punchline.
The longest joke in history.
Which is that I should have wasted more breath.
And so we come to the end of another day of telecasting. We sincerely hope you have enjoyed the programs of news and information we have presented for you today. We will return to the air tomorrow. 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 Return to the air tomorrow.
Joan of Arc had a dildo named Jesus, made of wood from the cross of its namesake. She considered the splinters atonement, and when she came it would fill her with light. Her body was an ocean full of wreckage. Her flesh was a map of hell that spilled out the sides of her dresses, the flabby arms of modern surrender. A smothering mother's body like a black hole, pulling calories and emotion and her many children to her. She was childless, she was alone. She found comfort in the Bible, a gravity like her own, promising always to pull her down before she floated into space. And space was the place she feared most. Staring out her window, distant planets were cold, until a voice came to her in the night. She was sitting in her kitchen, it was flooded with light, and she wandered out into her backyard, wearing nothing but a house dress. And there, behind the racist lawn statues and the plastic fountain, she saw her hedges in flames. Speak to me, Lord, she said, and the world would never be the same. Speak to me, Lord, she said. I killed a queer for Christ and didn't even get a thank you letter. I let Jesus take the wheel and he drove me off the road. And though I know he only did that shit to test my faith, I'm saying nothing, I'm praying about it. I'm asking God to keep the lights on and shrink my tumors and keep them from privatizing my job, and to reach those in power, those who damn their own souls by not crushing the wicked, those who will not purge themselves of this world, those who refuse to kneel, those who choose the wheel, those who are like demons walking the earth, building their evil empires, threatening us from outside. I know that Satan, the stranger, the foreign, the invader, is the creator of Mexican immigrants and Al-Qaeda. And Lord, I'll understand if you want the earth to be flooded again. In fact, my faith could melt an iceberg. If you ever need a hand, just deliver me and mine to the promised land. Just deliver me and mine to the promised land. Just deliver me and mine. Joan of Arc had a dildo named Jesus, made of wood from the cross of its namesake, and her orgasms all were omens. When she came, it would fill her with right, and when the light had finally left her, she lay ruined across her sheets. Her mouth unhinged, her shape like a victim, murdered in a sleep without dreams. Joan of Arc was a warrior poet, and she baptized the world in her flame. And she never stopped to wonder for even a moment why Jesus never came.
Hi, kids! My name is Bombs Away. Oh, I should have known. Coming to Long Island. Everybody knows Long Island is Jersey, but the guys are uglier and the girls are sluttier. True story. I'm in Manhattan yesterday and I break one of my shoelaces. So I throw it out in the trash can. Today I'm in Long Island and I see some kids jump roping. And they're jump roping with my fucking shoelace from yesterday. So I guess this really is where New York City puts its trash, huh? Yeah, come on, let's not shit ourselves. Your city is a landfill with a strip mall on top of it. I got a fucking poem too. You wanna hear my poem? It's a political piece. It's about the war. How do you guys feel about our president and his glorious war on terror? I had my suspicions. Maybe it was the glass pipes for sale outside. This piece is called Bonzo for Baghdad. We gotta do it. Tell him Bonzo said we gotta do it. You can't write poems if you're dead, stupid. We gotta do it. Because the truth is, reality is ruthless. And if the other wolves find out that you're toothless, they use your bones as a motherfucking toothpick. So get used to it. Or pack up your protest music and move it. But if you like hanging out where all the food is, you're on top of a shit pile, kid, and you gotta rule it. Pull my finger. Welcome back, Slag Kerouac. While you were writing in your book of dreams, I was holding the sky up. So I took me a handful of beads and I purchased this whole fucking island, New York City. It was a steal. And Henry Hudson and Giovanni Verrazzano kidnapped Algonquin children and sold them as slaves. Matter of fact, I think your art studios are probably built on their fucking graves. But now you wanna get squeamish. And now you're all fucking vegan. Wipe your chin, sweetheart. Your mouth's too full for speaking. We gotta do it. We gotta do it! Because the truth is, reality is ruthless. And if the other wolves find out that you're toothless, they use your bones as a motherfucking toothpick. You got the biggest dick in the world. You ain't gonna use it for some abstraction of what it means to be human. How many more towers do you got to lose, kids? Be happy there's no draft that no one asked you to grab a gun yet. Sit back and just relax and watch the flag against the sunset. Just clap and snap salutes to our troops when you hear a fucking trumpet. We'll tell you when it's safe to come out and write rap songs about the bloodshed. You need me, fool. How the fuck did you think the food got in a supermarket? You unwrap this shit from plastic after I throw it, kill it, or fuck it. It's not that you're more moral. You more or less don't have the stomach. But that's alright, little brother, cause Grandpa left me his musket. And there's a world full of wolves in the pack at the moment whose attitudes could use adjustment. This is what it is. This is what it always was. If you didn't want to watch this flick, you shouldn't have played the lead, cuz. So if the president comes in your popcorn, take a seat and eat it up. Cause you kids ain't doing shit, and you sure ain't fooling no one. We gotta do it. We're gonna do it. We already did it. We had to do it.
The answer is time. The correct answer is time.
That's right. That's the right answer. You got it. Again.
I got it right again. I'm so good at this game of answering riddles. It's my favorite new thing to do. Do you know any other good riddles?
I don't know, Ben. It's getting kind of late,
Please, tell me another riddle. Tell me another riddle.
buddy. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can find one.
The sheep's in the meadow, the cows in the corn. Now is the time for a child to be born. Laugh at the moon and cry for the sun. And if it's a boy, he'll carry a gun. Sang the crow on the cradle.
Tell me another riddle. Tell me another riddle. Tell me
I have
another
a
riddle.
name, but it isn't
Tell
my
me
name.
another riddle.
My face shows signs of age,
Signs.
and I always mean the same thing.
Age.
No matter what I say, I'm born in the morning. I'll last till the end of days. Men plant me, but I never grow.
In the ground.
Run from me, but I never move. Look at me to see their future, and rot in the fields where I bloom.
Rot. In the fields.
What am I?
Plenty. I have a name. A tombstone. The answer is a tombstone.
That's enough riddles for tonight.
I got it right again.
No more riddles.
Tell me another riddle. Tell me another riddle.
No.
Crow on the cradle, black and the white. Somebody's baby is born for a fight. Crow on the cradle, the white and the black. Somebody's baby is not coming back. Sang the crow on the cradle.
You're drunk. Calm down. I don't want to play anymore.
Certain Sullivans and certain presidents have in common. Who isn't affected? A man is in his rowboat in the middle of the ocean with his heart and a gun and a dead battery. How does he get to shore? When is a ghost not a ghost anymore? When he's a ghost rider, what's ugly, old, and nearly all over? What walks on four legs in the dawn, two legs in the afternoon, rides like a drake into the fucking sunset. The more you take, the more you leave behind. Its footsteps. What's broken as soon as its name is spoken?
Father will sweat and they'll slave to build you a coffin and dig you a grave. Hush-a-bye, little one, never you weep, for we've got a toy that can put you to sleep.
What's wrong? You seem strange lately.
Oh yeah, it seems strange. What the fuck do you know? You're not even, fucking...
I'm not even what? Go ahead, say it.
Don't get sensitive on me now. Hey. Shit. You see that? Stop the music.
See what?
Turn the generator.
Ego makes a peace to himself. Gets rid of the pain of being led.
Her body stiff and attentive, sensing my presence. I lie quiet and still until she lowers her defenses. So conscious of my motions and I'm holding my breath and I focus my attention and take it all in. She had her armor made of mirrors in place of her skin. I caught a glimpse of my reflection in her cold oblivion, eyes blacker than the bottom of space. She moves closer, the shadows come alive in her wake, mimic her shape as she passes by. I'm hypnotized, I'm transfixed, as fickle as a queen, crawling onto the scene, tapping against the glass as I study her math, her efficiency, her quiet precision, conquering an indifferent wings that twitch in the dead light. Try to memorize her measurements in this flood of impressions. She was gone in a second, disappearing through a crack in the desk. I hold my breath until she comes back again, and I think about the places she could make her nest. How many days it would take to pick apart a skeleton, and now I find myself extending a hand slowly in her direction, so hopeful and so hesitant, placing it on the table on the edge of her space. She stops, she stops, sensing the change, this awful moment of our alien exchange. This is a love story set in my shallow grave and written in fossils. I am the last man and she is a cockroach. I know myself even better than Jesus does. I stole from churches. I owe God money. There was a girl with no gag reflex and a summer with no idea. Stealing to buy drugs with Kate, who needed her smoke so much more than the Pope needed another painting in the Vatican. Days in the warehouse waiting. Katie and the baby and Katie. On my lunch break alone, us just wanting to be alone. Her nature versus nurture, she was wild. She was like a berserker fairy, breath sweetened with nicotine tar and tension and touching behind backs. Whispers in the house, excuses for the dark, hands for flesh, and the most realist despair in the wide, wide universe. Her parents were always home and never around. Like her live-in addict, accidental baby daddy, his name was Adrian. He used to stab himself in the leg with darts for attention. I used to watch it all go down and want her. I used to feed the baby and try to come down. I was 18, she was 17. I was into drugs, she was in love. It was all about me as always. She heard my first slam poem. All summer we went to cemeteries to smoke. That's where I learned to open the box in my throat and sang the blues all over, but mostly in cemeteries. All life lived in me. I brought it to Katie and Katie brought life at 17. 17. She loved iced coffee, she loved me. She loved her daughter, she loved her stories. She loved everything and wanted only to love. I made her write it in a journal. And why is it that when I wanted girls to inspire themselves and come alive and write their fire into books and bleed like this for themselves and be healed like I got it, see it's not hard, you can do it, you should do it more, did you, yes, good, why is it that they never did until I kissed them? And then they would write shit about me, which is not what I wanted, but was fun and suddenly fed me. So I forgot where I was, which was in the pages, getting tattooed down, waiting to be turned over. Making the mistake, feeling her in the dark, the shock of her smell, the strength of her hold, like girls forget how to do when they get older. 17, she had a grip like her baby. Was she 13 or 14? When one of the Falco brothers laced a joint with PCP, her and her cousin, Katie couldn't move while he raped her. Her cousin couldn't move while she watched. For God's sake, for the love of all time, in this life and the next, from heaven
heaven and hell, by any power that exists, by every force of compulsion in the universe, God, fuck the Falco brothers. God, hate them. God, destroy them before anything like justice can ever exist. The motherfuckers who gave me my first punch in the face, who laid like the jackals of chaos over the beds of everything good. This is a human cancer, living in the shadows of a ghost town, demanding innocence off of people like lunch money. Later, raped it off them, jumped it off them, stripped it off them, stole it off them, multiplied and thrived till an entire generation of Smithfield girls was gone, gone, gone into the past in the woods, gone into whatever trailer held the grand nightmare of life that night. Jesus Christ, Smithfield screams to me like an open mouth, black mud, rusted iron gums, grinding gears for teeth in my dreams. Hampton City is the monster of time, heavy fist of the alcoholic, death god bloated with the blood of my father, still holding him in its jaws, grinning like a falcon with all the bodies in its basement. Murder, murder, so many girls. Where the fuck were the parents? Was everyone insane? The kids, the kids, the kids, all around me getting laid to waste. Then we missed the loneliness in his mother's mess. This roots some of the lies and pressure. John to some idiot church, John Paul to leukemia. Dominic pulled away from us by divorce money and contempt. Mike lit off, Mike don't lit off, no excuse. Mike Oakland with no mercy, Mike Coleman, our best friend. Mike Oakland, the Butler Hospital, the Butler, the Butler, the Butler to me, the pills, the pills, the pills to me, to dead musicians, dead hands, Big Brother, the serious fuck you from the sky, the inevitability and the simple sureness that life didn't want you, would break you soon. It was much too much for you to even try, Mike Dolan, the perfect, inexplicable, and eternal failure, who lives to this day. I've seen him this year. I know that Katie lives too. I know that Rena lives with her. I pray that Adrian is gone, and that Rena was never old enough to remember him. I know that Rena was never old enough to remember me. I hope she's seen a picture of me holding her. I have a picture of her in my wallet. Last month, for a couple weeks, I forgot the name of the baby in my wallet. The baby's name is Rena. I know that I will love them both until I die. I went back to college and dropped out. Katie went back to figuring this thing out, but was missing me. I forgot to miss her for a while. Now things are slower. I know Katie doesn't fuck with drugs anymore. I know I mostly don't either. I'm sorry for everything, but also not at all. I hope all things for them. Kate, Rena.
Jesus Christ. That was depressing. Now I'm depressed. This has to be over soon. Look at you. You are barely conscious. You haven't spoken in weeks. This isn't good. This isn't healthy. Let's get you on your feet. Come on. Stand up. You can do it. Oh well. Looks like only 2 more left anyhow. I'll play the next one myself.
Schools of violence, they die to realize it, but the fire falls mostly on their eyelids, scarred wrists, they hit, they mimic faces of death. I see them swing from the necks above academy steps, whisper atrocities and pay the debt, and cadets hold their desks over their heads, not fearing death. At 15, riot and get whipped in closets full of empty beds, the team huddles. To muffle screams, they hunt the axis in your black hole, it makes your flame collapse, prone, dropped into your future addiction. Hey, you one of the lucky ones. Shepherds collect straight bullets and teach them to love their guns. On the bus with a drug under your tongue, it makes you safe from blood pressure. Forever, fuck a military wife who packs her bags and sits on her eggs amongst the ass, gets smashed before they hatch, and teaches your greatest mistake to pray to a folded flag named daddy. Keep tragedy in the family in a fireproof box. That wishes he wasn't born and is afraid of being called a discharge. That should have filled the condom up, but now is filling boots. Knows ain't nowhere to open his throat, and at the end of the day, beds of prey will support our troops.
My cousin's back from Iraq, showered in confetti, ribbons of his best friend, guts on a Humvee. scene, looking for work. His children are hungry in my mother's barber chair, twitching uncontrollably. He's got a fake diploma, shrapnel in his belly. Bedroom full of dead bodies. Never had a passport but got to kill Iraqis. All expenses paid. Used to say you gotta die, so die for your country. But what's worse than dead? The ocean like a bag of pennies. New Orleans at a time, my favorite city. Israeli contract is sponsored by Disney. Out to save the world, save the people to the levee. Who you gonna look to? The New York Times or the Senate committee. They still throwing stones. Is Ralph Nader gonna save me? I think not going back to Cali, the West Coast. A liberal cemetery. I know you know everything patriot, but life's not fair. Push him around in a wheelchair. Hey yo, freedom isn't free, you gotta slave for it. Police the citizen, we maintain order. Hey yo, I don't know much, but the one thing I'm sure. Hey yo, freedom isn't free, you gotta slave for it. Police the citizen, we maintain order. Hey yo, I don't know much, but the one thing I'm sure.
This is absurd. Too much distortion. I don't understand.
This is what happens when you fall asleep, nestled against the cold skin of your cooing television, tickled by the static shock of a million needle pricks, overcome by the breaking waves of words, colors, and laughter. TV winds us down to sleep, winds us down to sleep. Tones grow calmer, smiles widen to an almost unnatural size. Turn away, close your eyes. From all of us here in TV land, to all of you out there, good night, good night, good night. And in the thick electric cloud of your coma, the gamma rays slip inside to open you, climbing up on your cheeks and lifting up your eyes like a circus tent, sneaking inside, finding you naked in the gray matter and dragging you up, calling you up to come worship and be ridden by God. Come open your eyes to the blinding lights. Come get ridden, and you can look up at the place where the sun used to be and watch the blades spin, the blades spin, the dishwasher safe, stainless steel, NASA engineered blades spin. Presto! Slices, sliced fruits, chopped, vegetables, cheese, and more, and you run your fingers through a brain that isn't there anymore. And perfectly sliced cucumber wedges baptize you in their crispy newness, raining down faith upon the thirsty skeptics and mush for the beaks of baby birds. I can't believe it. Believe it. I can't. There must be a catch. Believe it! Believe it, motherfucker! What more do you need? Do I need to spell it out in my fucking blood for you? For the last time, I'm telling you that not only will you get the Veggasm salad shooter, the Veggasm SP upgrade pack in the 5-minute recipe booklet, but I'm gonna give you the rejuvenating fantasy cream and the age-defying formaldehyde gum. You're gonna get the macaroni salad attachment, the second chance auto financing handbook, and the ultimate weight loss series, the Carl Wizard, the Python Ultra Double Max Car Nose attachment, and the hand chamois, 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 chamois. And you're gonna get it all for 11 fingernails, Mike. Just 11 fingernails, and I can't go any lower. I can't go any lower. I can't go any lower.
slept outside on the lawn. It was beautiful, so clear with stars. He tossed and turned, having nightmares. This morning he said he'd had a dream about how to finish the script, but now that he was awake, it wasn't any good. He said he couldn't go on because he didn't really express his idea. He still doesn't know how to make a film. Last night we slept outside on the lawn. It was beautiful, so clear with stars.
Sheep's in the meadow, the cows in the corn. Now is the time for a child to be born. Laugh at the moon and cry for the sun. And if it's a boy, he'll carry a gun, sang the crow on the cradle. And if it should be that this baby's a girl, never you mind if her hair doesn't curl. With rings on her fingers and bells on her toes, bomber above her wherever she goes, sang the crow on the cradle. The crow on the cradle, the black and the white, somebody's baby is born for a fight. Crow on the cradle, the white and the black, bombarded.